All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
Before we get started, we'd like to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bachar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And also, peace and safety to the Akim that spread across the four corners of the world that's pushing out this truth with all diligence and putting your lives on the line to do so. I'm the brother Karas Azar,
Brother Kashakwala.
here from Great Millstone, Atlanta. Here with the lesson, as you can see, it's entitled Roe versus Wade. Men and women is going to start having to take accountability. Okay, because this is what's in the news as of right now, in which each individual state now has the option to decide whether the women can have abortions or not. Okay, and the brother, it was just on his spirit. He just the spirit came upon him to think, and now these women, have to take accountability for their actions now. They just can't be out here, all willy nilly, sleeping with anybody they want, because they gonna end up having these babies, man. You know, and like the scriptures say, which we're gonna get, this is gonna further prophecy, man. Like the scriptures go into, man. This is gonna further the gospel of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. So if you had something to say.
Yeah, pretty much what's going on is like you see in the title of the lesson, accountability is going to start coming on these people, which a lot of people shy away from accountability, meaning accountability goes hand in hand with responsibility. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And a lot of people are childish, you could say. They're just children in adult bodies at this very moment, and that's why you can see a lot of people are up in um, flames, very livid and things of that nature about this decision.
Mm-hmm.
They believe it's their choice if and things of that nature. But like the brother was saying, this is all part of prophecy. It's all part of Esau's agenda. But
Mm-hmm.
really, all this is being orchestrated uh, via the Lord. Matter of fact, you mind if you pull that scripture, Satan divided against Satan,
Yeah, I got you.
Satan against Satan,
Yeah.
because with me and the officer, Karatazar, were talking about the red and blue states because he did mention with this Roe versus Wade and how the Supreme Court judged it. They're pretty much putting the power into the states' hands. So that means you got blue and red states. The red states are the Republican states. The blue states are the Democratic states. And we know the Democrats are more so towards allowing people to get abortions, and then you have the Republicans who are against that shit. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And
Yeah,
that's a division right there in itself. But you got it, bro.
that's right. So this is Matthew chapter 12. I'll start at verse 25. And it says, "And Yahweh Shai knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How
Right.
shall how
Oh,
then oh so like you got it.
yeah. Satan is divided against Satan. He shall cast out himself. And little, what the scriptures say, a little uh, leaven up the whole lump. So little situations that arise can make a big issue and a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
And abortion shouldn't be something that's even talked about like that,
Right.
because women should just be having their children, and men should be accountable enough to raise a child with the women.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said accountability is coming to women and men. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
responsibility, uh, which a lot of them run away from. So
Yeah.
that's a little issue that has become a big issue in America with a lot of people. So with this ruling, people don't like it, and it's going to further divide America. Something small as this can start civil unrest, man.
Yeah.
So, something as small as this can start civil unrest. You
Because
know,
if I can add to your point, because you mentioned the blue and the red parties, and a lot of people are mentioning how, the blue party, or the liberals, they like to push the gay, the homosexuality on the people, but on the other end, they don't want anyone to push abortions on them. You see what I'm saying? So it's really been like a hypocrite. You know, you want to push homosexuality, but then don't want nobody to push nothing on you. You see what I'm saying? So like how you going, like the scripture speak about in Second Esdras, it can cause an uproar of the people, man. You know?
Exactly, and you can see right now who's in office is a Democrat in Biden, but you can see who's really running, throwing the shots, which
Mm-hmm.
are the Republicans. The
Yeah.
Republicans are throwing the shots, are calling the shots, for
Mm-hmm.
say, because you have this abortion thing that just hit. That's a Republican move right there because they're against abortions.
Yeah.
Um, then you have with these gun laws. They just
Mm-hmm.
shot down, the Republicans just shot down some gun laws that aren't going to go. It was like gun laws for handguns
Mm-hmm.
that's not going to go through.
Yeah.
But the Democrats,
AR-15s.
what was you saying, brother?
AR-15s.
Yep, AR-15s and things of that nature. But it ain't gonna go through. See, up there in Canada, even though they don't really do the Republican Democrat shit, but up there in Canada, they just had a big, you know, law that is trying to be. They say, that the headlines make it seem like they passed the law, but it has to go through legislation. More than likely, they're going to determine if it gets passed or not later on this year, towards the end of the year. But
Mm-hmm.
America was like, nah, man, let these people get their guns. But
Yeah.
that's Satan going against Satan. Esau's trying to get the guns out of the hands of the public so it can be easier to control the public.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Democrats want abortions. Democrats want gay marriage.
Yeah.
Republicans don't want that.
Yeah.
And Biden just came out and said today, after the Roe versus Wade decision overturned, he said this could attack the trans and gay marriages and things of that nature. You damn right it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because these Republicans are like the America kind of type people. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we ain't with that gay stuff. We ain't with killing babies and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's why, if for you people, if you were a so-called American, you would be, on the side that Trump was on. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Trump.
yeah.
You see, because he was all for, pushing America.
Make
Ever
America
since
great again.
Make America Great Again. So ever since Biden got in office, look at what happened. Everything just, it plummeted.
That's right. Because I've always said this going into presidents and things of that nature. Each president sets up the next president. So usually, what you have is for a term, either 4 years or 8 years, however long they do their service. You have one president pushing out a whole bunch of executive orders, and then the next president comes in and executes those executive orders. So pretty much all them executive orders, because I think Obama, he signed a hell of a lot of executive orders, is what Biden is pushing him. Because Obama started that gay marriage stuff,
Yeah.
he was for that abortion stuff.
Yeah.
And there's another article that came out that really this abortion, the overturn of Roe versus Wade, is really affecting the black women.
Yeah.
Because they the main ones doing it.
Yeah, when you look at the chart, what nationalities get the most abortions, it's the black woman, man.
Right.
You
It's the black woman.
You got something?
No, go ahead, bro.
This Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters, and give ear unto my attention." So the Lord is going to put a spirit out here, to where these women who's in that that comfortable state of mind, they're going to be put, out of that, man. However it's going to happen, the Lord is going to cause these women and men to be uncomfortable, because I wanted to say too, it's a lot of men who basically force, these women to get abortions too. After they, impregnate them or whatever, they force them, to have these abortions, man. You
That's
know,
right.
you got.
That's why it goes to the accountability of men.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm keeping it a buck because it's more so on the woman's side because
Yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
actually getting up and doing the action of going and getting the abortion. But
Mm-hmm.
you have your simp ass men who, well, I'll hold your hand through it,
Yeah,
and you have, like you said, you have your more aggressive nigga type men being like, no, you better go get that abortion or I'm gonna do
mm-hmm.
something.
Yeah,
And the woman gets scared and ends up going to do it, even though probably in the back of her mind she wanted to do it anyway.
yeah.
But you know, now that this Roe versus Wade is popping up, women don't have too much of choices. They're either gonna
Mm-hmm.
have the baby, or they're gonna have to travel to a state that still does abortions,
Yeah,
or they're gonna have to kill it themselves,
yeah.
or just raise the child, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So birth rate may go back up because Israel's fruitful. They were fruitful
Yeah,
and multiplied. Can't help
yeah.
it. It's a part of our nature.
Mm-hmm.
Jake like to have sex.
Yeah,
And they just pop them out. So
yeah.
it goes back to. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get a quick precept because that goes back to Exodus, the first chapter.
Oh
This is
yeah, yeah.
Exodus chapter 1 and 7. It says, "And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them." Right. And this was happening in Israel's
Captivity.
captivity.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it was happening in Israel's captivity. So it's going to be the same thing. You think they had clinics to go abort a baby back then? No. So they were popping out babies in their captivity. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Even with abortions now, we outnumber the nations. You know what I'm saying? So with abortions kind of dwindling down, it's going to be a higher birth rate. You know,
Yep. And that's why he said it's basically triggered towards, the so-called Jake woman, man, the nigga woman, man. Because they the ones who have the most babies, so that automatically equals to them having the most abortions, man.
that's right.
You know?
You know, yeah, the black woman's a killer, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the script. That's why the scriptures say it. What is that? Sirach 25 or 26 is that through her we all die.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't even be given a chance for they don't be given a chance for a nigga to breathe.
I know.
Like I mean, you laugh at it, it's effed up,
Yeah.
real talk, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
ultimately, it's judgment at the end of the day. But they look at it as a choice. It's not a choice
Mm-hmm.
um, to take a life or not. Matter of fact, I get another quick precept in the book of Ecclesiasticus, the 5th chapter here, or the book of Sirach. It says, Ecclesiasticus chapter 5 and 2. It says, "Follow not thine own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart." That goes back to the book of Proverbs, the third chapter,
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs
Yeah.
3 and 1,
5.
3 and 5.
Yeah.
Lean not on thine own understanding.
Mm-hmm.
It says, verse 3, back Ecclesiasticus 5 and 3, "And say not, who shall control me for my works?" And that's what these nigga women are saying out here, man.
Yeah.
I can do it. What do they say? It's my body, my
Yeah.
choice. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's my body, my choice. Well, if it's your body, your choice, then close your goddamn legs.
Right.
How about that? You would never be in a predicament to,
Mm-hmm.
yes, take a life.
Right.
Right?
You hopping here, y'all hopping from man to man instead of just sticking with that one man who they've been dealing with. Instead they hop from man to man, and then when they get pregnant, they want to say, "It's my body, my choice." But if you stay diligent to that one man, and you would have already then spent time with him, learned who he was, these women be hopping from rod to rod every day, man. You know, so they have to be pregnant by somebody they don't even know their last name, man.
Right, because the society gives them an illusion of choice to do as they will.
Mm-hmm.
That's how Esau has set up the society. He gave you an illusion, you know, even with everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's with everything. With voting, that's an illusion of choice, man. They're gonna
Yep.
put in there who the hell they want to put in there.
Right.
You know, it's an illusion of choice. And it's the same thing on a spiritual aspect. It's the same thing on a spiritual aspect.
Mm-hmm.
With us in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. We
Yep.
know we're being controlled. We have an understanding of we're being controlled. Everything is written about what our next steps are going to be. Everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like we do have a choice. But the Lord ultimately predestined certain individuals to get this or not get this, to be saved or not be saved.
Yep.
Ultimately, the Lord is. We're just playing it out, and it seems like a decision or a choice that we're making. Well, in our actuality, it's already been written of what we're going to do. That's why the scriptures say it in Proverbs. Pretty
Man's
much,
gone.
the man's going. That's a good one. The man's goings are the Lord, and also the king's heart.
Yep.
The Lord devises everything. You know,
Mm-hmm.
in a sense, in the spiritual, we have a delusion of choice.
Yeah.
Go back to the book of Jonah.
Yep.
He thought he had a choice not to go to Nineveh or not. He's like, no, we going.
Nope.
We're trying to
And
go
like
to
I said, could you mention the choice, and you put brothers on for brothers who watching, it's a movie called The Northman.
Oh yeah.
You know, and which was a heavy movie, man. We recommend brothers to watch that, man.
So
But
like,
basically,
you know, if
now
y'all ain't
you got
watched
it.
Northman, y'all need to go watch that because that movie shows that you cannot stop prophecy.
You can't.
If something is set in stone, it is set in stone. That goes back to Second Ezra's. Second Ezra's. You know, brother, you know I love the script. Second Ezra's chapter 4 and 37.
I get
It
it
talks
for you.
about go ahead and get it, brother. Because how the Lord designates things is how it's going to be designated, how it's going to be set. He's not going to move it or nothing.
That's right. This is Second Ezra chapter 7 verse 37. It says by measure.
4 and 37.
So like Second Ezra chapter 4 and 37. It says by measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times, and he doeth not move nor stir them until that the said measure be fulfilled.
There you go. It's set. He's not going to move it. He's not going to stir it. If a tidal wave is set to be dropped on the southern part of fucking Florida on August 10th, 2022, yes. So-called, then it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You can't stop it.
Right.
That's how the Lord said it. You know what I'm saying? But let me go back to Ecclesiasticus chapter 5 and 3. Back to these accountability lacking women.
Yeah.
It says, and say not, who shall control me for my words? For the Lord will surely revenge thy pride. Mm-hmm. All right. We know what the scripts say. What is that in Proverbs 16 and 23, I want to say, where it talks about that pride goes before destruction and a haughty.
Haughty tongue.
And then also, what's that? Proverbs 8 and 13, where it talks about pride and arrogancy and a froward mouth.
Do I hate? Yeah.
Yep. So this your pride for thinking you have the choice to abort a baby, it's gonna be looked at. You're not gonna. Matter of fact, let's go to the next verse. It says, "Say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me?" So these black women out here killing babies, and be like, I guess there's no God. That goes back to Psalms the 36th chapter, the first verse. You know, the wicked saying to the heart that there is no fear of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happened to me. Whatever, I had an abortion. I'm going about. I got a promotion at my job. Life goes on, right?
Yeah.
We'll continue reading it. It says, "Say not, I have sinned, And what harm hath happened unto me? For the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, is long suffering, meaning patience. He lets things marinate.
Soak in.
Just let it sit there.
Yeah.
You know, we were in the group chat. You know, you see the group chat. Bishop Atazamon said, "Ooh, the Lord letting this place get fat."
Yeah.
You know, just paraphrasing what he was saying. Matter of fact, I could pull up what he said.
Kind.
He said, what did he say? Salaki. That's all good, but pretty much that's what he was saying. You know, this place is getting fat, right? You know, that's what you do with your cattle before you slaughter it. You know, you let it get fat, you let it eat, and then when it get real fat, it get good. You know, you had a nice steak on the thing. You know, you don't want those skinny ass cattle. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, malnourished. So it's the same thing with the Lord, because
that's what Esau did. You know, he rushed that the food wasn't even done cooking. You know, the morsel of the meat. You know, the food. Jacob wasn't even done, man. You know, Esau wanted the food. You know, the scriptures say, "Go not into the ways of the heathens."
Right.
And so, like the Lord letting this place, you know, fatten up, like it speaks about that in the book of Job, man. Right before his belly, you know, is filled, you know, he's going to be brought down. You know,
that's right.
and because everything goes back to Esau anyway. Because even though, and that's why we, you know, we say it's prophecy, because even though, you know, Esau just made that this law, established this law, and Esau is the reason why women can have abortions in the first place.
That's right.
You know,
you see, I'm gonna get back to Ecclesiasticus, but since we're talking about the fat, you got to go to the law. You know, to see why the fat is so, you know, would you say pivotal, and why we offer it to the Lord. This is Leviticus, just an example. This is Leviticus chapter 3:3. It says, in matter of fact, I'll just start at the top. Leviticus, because this is the law on peace offerings. So Leviticus 3:1, it says, and if his oblation be a sacrifice of peace offering, if he offer it, it says, if he offer it of the herd, whether it be male or female, he shall offer it without blemish before the Lord. Without blemish. So that's why, you know, just veering off topic, that's why Yahushua was a perfect sacrifice, because he didn't have any blemish. Perfect.
Right.
But let's get back onto the law real quick. It says, verse 2, it says, and he shall lay his hand upon the head of his offering and kill it at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron's sons, the priest, shall sprinkle the blood upon the altar round about. You can hear the specifics of what the Lord wants done. Aaron's sons, not just any Levite, but, you know, the line of Aaron. The high priest, exactly, bro. Verse 3 here is starting to get into the point. He says, and he shall offer the sacrifice of the peace offering, an offering made by fire unto the Lord, the fat that covers the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards. So it's the fat that the Lord wants, because of what? Verse 4, it says, in the two kidneys and the fat that is on them, which is by the flanks, and the coal above the liver, with the kidney, and it shall he take away, and Aaron's son shall burn it. Burn what? The fat.
Right.
It on the altar upon the burnt sacrifice, which is upon the wood that is on the fire. It is an offering made by fire. This is why the fat is crucial, of a sweet savor unto the Lord, because the fat has a flavor, the fat has a smell. That's what the Lord wants. So this is the America burning is a peace offering. All right, cool, because the Lord wants the fat of this place.
Like, fatness of the earth. That was his blessing.
That was his bro. Come on. You know what I'm saying? He wants the fatness of the earth. So the fat is going to be delivered to the Lord in the form of a burnt offering, aka the ICBM, the nuclear missiles.
Yeah.
That's the fat that's going to be offered to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back. Ecclesiasticus 5 and 4 says, "Say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For the Lord is long suffering; he will in no wise let thee go." So there's
Yeah.
no getting away from, okay, you aborted a baby and thinking you're gonna get scot-free. No, the Lord's not gonna let you go. You may aborted a baby 10 years ago. Don't think the Lord's gonna let that go. Them 10 years was you to get fattened up, to be a sacrifice.
Yep. Because they never repented.
They never repented.
You know? So hey, they just adding wickedness on top of wickedness, man, because our people don't think that they have to repent for the sins that they commit, man.
That's right. That's what you call it, iniquity, which is sins laden on top of each other. Yep. You see what I'm saying? And people, in 2/3 of Israelites don't understand what the scriptures say. What we understand, we give our body as a living sacrifice, right?
Mm-hmm.
That applies to you 2/3 niggas too.
Yeah.
That applies to you 2/3 niggas too. You're gonna have to give your body as a living sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
But in a sense, we're willing.
Yeah.
You're gonna be forced to give your body as a living sacrifice because you have nothing else to give.
And they go
setting your ass up with pride.
That's it, bro. That's it. And they gonna actually feel that fire, man. You know, like it speaks. That's Zechariah the 13th chapter. You know, about him putting the 1/3 through the fire.
Right.
You know, hey, but the 2/3 is gonna literally go through that fire, man. You know, but I got because I know we was speaking about you know, prior to the lesson being cut on about how this move can fulfill prophecy because the scriptures say that every eye shall see. You know, so I got that precept if you want me to read it.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
All right, so this is Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. And it says, "Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so among." Okay,
yes,
so like the brother, you know, he was mentioning, like I said, prior to we cut on the stream, but it says every eye shall see him. You see, so a certain amounts of these states is going to have it to where these women can't get abortions and kill off these kids. So that means the population is going to rise. You see, and I think you had brought up some numbers too about the birth rate.
I wish I could turn my camera around, but
yeah,
it's all good. But there's a I might hold on one second. I might put this this link in the chat if if brothers. Oh, and shalom to the Akim on the chat.
Shalom.
I see you, Yaquab.
Yeah,
that's the Brody right there, man. You know what I'm saying? But I might put this link here in the chat. It shows Salaki. It shows like the birth rate of the earth, you know, in a whole from 1950. You could put it any other. Right now I have it set to 1950 to 2023, and it's just been on a steady decline. But you know, the Lord is he's gonna ramp that back up. You know, matter of fact, you can get we could stay in Revelation 1, but you can get that 1 Corinthians the 4th chapter where it says the dead in the Lord shall rise. You know, I'm gonna get a quick precept here in Matthew 27. It says Matthew 27 and 50. It said Yahushua, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the spirit. Verse 51, and behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent. Verse 52, and the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose. All right, so many bodies of the saints that slept arose. So when we talk about Revelation 1, every eye shall see, that goes into more births are going to happen because the number one killer to a lot of black men and black women, quote unquote, so-called black, is abortions. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of spirits are going to come back out now that abortions are kind of having a pause on it, and people can't really do it. There's clinics that are
Mm-hmm.
shutting down right now, this very moment, not letting, stopping operations.
Yeah.
Bishop Tazawam said it beautifully in our chat that people don't understand that this is not a constitutional right. It wasn't in
Yeah.
the Constitution saying that you can do this, that with your baby, whatever, with an unborn. That's not in the Constitution. This is a business. When businesses close, prime example, if Chick-fil-A closed, can you go get a Chick-fil-A sandwich? Fuck no.
Oh.
Simple. So when abortion clinics close, can you go get an abortion? No. The business is not operating anymore. All right. The business is tanked. All right. So you can't have that certain luxury anymore. Ain't no more waffle fries.
Yeah.
Well, ain't no more abortions at this clinic. You're gonna have to go find somewhere else to go do that. Like we said in the beginning, you're gonna have to go to another state that allows it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's if they allow it. There's more red states than there are blue states, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
So if you have something called trends, so if the blue states start seeing red states, they could change minds.
Yeah.
You saw what? Georgia, they changed to a fucking red state, right?
Well, Georgia changed to a blue state.
To a blue state.
Yeah.
It changed the mind.
Yeah. But really, Georgia is still, outside of Atlanta, Georgia is still majority red state.
And I live outside of Atlanta.
Yeah.
A good ways outside of Atlanta. I just drive down my street. There's a house I'm talking about a flag the size of their house saying "fuck Biden."
Yes.
And they live right next to a gas station. Oh, the irony.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The irony. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like these states that can change minds about abortion. Next thing you know, it's going to be 35 states out of 50 who don't allow abortions. What, you don't have to go to fucking Alaska to go get an abortion.
Yeah. And you already know Jake can't afford to go outside the county line, man.
Metroplex.
Yeah.
The niggas can't go out of 285 here.
Right. So they gonna be forced. The Lord is forcing these women hand, man. To where they just gonna have to have a child, man.
Right.
They just gonna have to have it.
Exactly. This all goes back to Revelation 1 that every eye shall see. The Lord is gonna unlock the spiritual realm, and the spirits are gonna come back. And however that's gonna happen, the Lord's gonna make it happen. And this is one way that it can happen.
Yeah.
Abortion's eliminated. Now these babies are gonna come.
Yeah.
These babies are spirits that are going to see the Lord. Some of these babies who aren't going to get aborted may be part of the 1/3.
Yeah.
Some of these babies, come on now.
Hey, that's true, bro.
1/3 is women and children.
Yeah. If I can make a quick point before I get the precept, because in China, we all know that China has a huge population. I'm not sure the exact number, but prior to China, having this population, they had it to where the women can only have, I think it was like 1 or 2 children.
Right.
And I'm not sure what they did if they had more, but they had a law established to where the woman can only have 1 or 2 children. You see, but they did away with it, and now look at the population of China. You see what I'm saying? It skyrocketed. So the same thing is gonna happen here, man.
Then you got places like India. Damn well they don't allow abortions. They got
a
billion people.
Mm-hmm.
What? That's like point something. That's like 1% of the earth.
Yeah,
in one place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they live comfortably.
Yeah.
So don't sit here and tell me that the earth is overpopulated.
Right.
That's why. Because I watched this channel called It's Complicated. I think the brother Rock had dropped it in the group chat yesterday. but I've been watching them.
Yeah.
And it shows you the mind of these women. And I watched one where it talked about, of course, birth. I think that's the one he put in the chat. And one woman said, well, the earth is overpopulated. No, it's not, bitch. The earth is not overpopulated.
It's not.
It's not. You just coming up with that excuse to not be accountable and not be responsible.
Oh, well, they said they can fit everybody in America and Texas and live comfortably.
Right.
It's just a metro city.
Everybody in the world.
Oh, everybody in the world.
In Texas and live comfortably. Texas is big as hell.
Yeah.
Texas is bigger than Germany.
See?
This I'm gonna get a quick precept.
Yeah.
This is Hebrews chapter 12 and 9. I'm just applying this. It says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? The reason I bring that out is because the phrase Father of spirits. The Lord is the Father of spirits. So he's going to unlock the spiritual realm, and people are going to come back from the grave. People are going to get birthed. Not birthed. They're going to get women. More women are going to give birth to babies to either receive judgment or receive salvation. And on top of that, the Lord Yahweh wants everybody to bow down to his son Yahweh.
Oh, that's the spirit I had there, bro.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
John, this is the book of Romans chapter 14 and 11. And it says, for it is written, as I live, saith the Lord, every knee shall bow to me, and every tongue shall confess to the Most High.
Come on now. Every knee, going back to that word every, which is pas in the Greek, which means collectively as a whole, everybody individually shall bow down. I'm going to read something on the comic board, bro. There's a guy in there, I don't know who this is, but it's Risky Opinions.
Oh, God.
And it says, historians are saying they have never seen Democrats this upset since Republicans outlawed slavery in the 1800s.
Damn.
Well, that's why we brought out what we brought out in the beginning with Satan divided against Satan. Well, back in the 1800s, lo and behold, this is an actual quote. I'm not quoting it verbatim, but President Lincoln actually did say this, who niggas just somehow fucking worship.
Yeah.
He didn't do nothing for you.
Right.
But he said, any way I can keep the union together, and that's if we need to keep slaves or we need to abolish slavery, I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't care if you niggas were in slavery or not.
Right.
He was any way to save the union, he was going to get it done. If it meant for your ass to be getting your ass whipped and picking cotton still, well, that's what it was. If it meant going to war, then that's what it was. And the Lord had it to where, going to war because we had to be in positions that we are in now.
Yeah.
Can't preach the word on the highways and byways with shackles in a cracking the whip.
Right.
Shit.
It's good to say the truth and say
Go here smacking me with this damn thing, bro. I got it.
The scripture say you should know the truth and the truth will set you free.
That's right. Huh? You know what I'm saying? But that's a good quote. Or like, that's a fact right there. That's not I know his title says Risky Opinions, but that's a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Historians are saying they have never seen Democrats this upset because you can historically go back and see what society was back in the 1800s via history. That's facts. It's never been this much division since. It's never been.
Yeah. You wanted that precept in First Thessalonians?
Yeah, you can get it.
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
You can bring it out and break it down. Give me 1 second, brother.
Okay, come This is First Thessalonians chapter 5, and I'll start at verse 1. It says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." So, like the officer was speaking, this is a time, where division has been at an all-time high against these Edomites, man. Even though on the outside, you can't get caught, in that mainstream media, man. You gotta go into, the RT News and these YouTube bloggers and streamers and all these other outside news medias, man, because the mass media is gonna push out that everything is okay as far as within the White House, you see, but it's in all actuality it's total chaos, man. And the Lord is the one who's putting this spirit on these Edomites to be divided, man. The Lord is causing them to have division within, because it's prophecy. Just like how we always say, just like how these other, kingdoms fell, America is gonna fall the same way, man. It was divided from the inside out, and the scriptures speak about that broken wall, man. You know, so let me reread that verse again. First Thessalonians 5:3, it says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." And I always make mention of this when you go into the Bible Blue Letter. I believe it's David Guzik. He mentions that during this, Guzik, man. He mentions during this on this precept that basically it'll be a he basically says that two parties will basically be the cause of the fall of empire, man. It clearly states that, roughly paraphrase. But you got it, bro.
The Republican Party and the Democrat Party are cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And what does cancer do? It devours from within the inside of a person. Yeah. But pretty much, a person can die of cancer, which means dying from their own body. Real talk. No one else did it to them. No, they're having a battle within themselves.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing here in America, Satan against Satan. There's a battle within themselves that's ultimately going to implode. I think the officer, Nathaniel, he had put in like the chat. It was like a TikTok or something of a guy talking, shoot, if my enemies are fighting my enemies, I'm going to sit back and watch.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're doing right now. We sitting back, we watching the demise of this place. Yeah. And then ultimately, they're going to be duking it out, trying to be the next leader, unknowingly that we coming up.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know if I can play video games like Call of Duty. You have something called third party. So it would be two guys fighting, shooting at each other, but you just come in and shoot both of them.
Yeah, that third party, man.
Third party, keep it moving. That's exactly what's going to happen with Israel. Esau fighting against this Duke of Esau is fighting against this Duke of Edom. Amalek is fighting against, this sect of Edomites. You see what I'm saying? And ultimately, Israel is going to third party him. Right? Mm-hmm. Thanks for doing the dirty work.
Yeah. Basically. And the scriptures say, wait upon me. We just waiting on the Lord to return, man. And watching these prophecies be fulfilled.
Yep. That's it. That's why you go back to Sirach 39.
Yeah, 39.
Sirach 39, where it talks about 39:1. Matter of fact, let me get, I think it's Sirach 4. Matter of fact, I have to get it in my physical scripts.
Con.
But Sirach 39:1 tells us to be occupied in the prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, I got it. It's Sirach 6. This is Ecclesiasticus of Sirach 6, and 37, the last verse. It says, "Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord, and meditate continually in his commandments. He shall establish thine heart and give thee wisdom at thine own desire." You know, so if you are establishing your mind, that goes back to Psalms, the first chapter. Psalms, the first chapter, tell you to meditate on the laws and ordinances of the Lord. You know, so with us seeing this, we're privy to what Esau's doing to himself. So we just waiting, we just sitting back like,
yep.
You know, it's like watching a damn, you know, reality show.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen next?
Esau just losing his grips.
Losing, it's like watching, not keeping up with the Kardashians, but keeping up with the Edomites.
Yeah.
Keeping up with the Edomites.
Right.
See what happens on the next episode tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, because these Edomites, the self-proclaimed white man, he's destroying himself from within. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any more precepts. I just had a quick article. Just wanted to read like the first paragraph of it.
All right, that's cool.
You got anything else we can close out?
Yeah, I had just one more though. You know.
All right, good. Now I'm just read this quick article.
Okay.
I might just go ahead and put this in the chat too.
Yeah.
You want to see that article? I'll just put it in the chat. It says from Pew Research Center. What kind of fucking name is that? This came out June 17, 2022. It says a closer look at Republicans who favor legal abortions and Democrats who oppose it. You see what I was saying earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Minds can change. Democrats are for the abortions. But they're saying right here in this article that some Democrats are on the side of Republicans and some Republicans are on the side of Democrats. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Babylon. It's confusion. It's Babylon.
Confusion, man.
It says the Republican Party platform states that the unquote unborn child has a fundamental right to life which cannot be infringed, unquote. It says while the Democratic equivalent supports access to, quote, safe and legal abortions, unquote. But support for these positions is far from universal among Americans who identify with or lean towards each party, according to the recent Pew Research Center survey. So that goes to show you in that first paragraph of this article, there's a division.
It's division, man.
There's a division that is it's really becoming a big issue in America. That's why the morality of this place is being tainted.
Yep.
You got it, bro.
Con. So I just had Revelation chapter 1 and verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. You got it.
Hey, see, the time is at hand, man. All right, and blessed be the ones who read this. All right, and that's us. That's why we sit back and we're privy to understand what's going on. All right, that's why we have a one up on these people. You know, the Lord has blessed us with the understanding to open up our minds and our spirit to what He's going to do. And we can see it happening. You know, I guarantee you, we doing this lesson. A lot of brothers probably thought, you know, a little bit about, hey, this could be a way that the Lord sends more people onto the earth.
Yeah,
this is one way because we're spiritual men. We think that. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures tell you to have a mind after Yahweh Shem Shai. Well, it told you that about King David. So why don't you be like that? Scriptures tell you to look back at your forefathers, you know, and see the type of mind state and mind frame that they are working in, you know. So it's like we're privy to these things. We see these things. We think deeper on a deeper cognitive level than other individuals who think scratch surface. You know, we actually have what's the thinking called? Critical thinking. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to things, we can see the end coming. People can't. they're up in wars about abortion. Well, did you not just hear what Putin said, thinking about launching missiles at the end of the year?
Yeah.
All right. You know what I'm
See,
saying?
a lot of people mind slip about what's going on over there with Russia and Ukraine. It's major things happening over there at this very instant, man.
At this very moment. That's right, bro. You know, so hey, with this abortion stuff, you women and you men, accountability is knocking at your door. And like we always been saying, y'all gonna have to start making decisions.
Yeah.
You know, the scriptures, Yahweh talked about it. Blessed be the barren in them days. Well, a lot of y'all ain't gonna be barren.
Yeah.
It says woe to the woman who gets sucked.
Yeah.
That prophecy is gonna have to come to pass somehow.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, look where we are. Abortion is getting thrown out the window. Accountability is gonna have to come now. You know.
That's right.
You know. So, you have anything else, brother?
That's it, bro.
All right, Con. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. You know, I put those articles in the description. You know, if y'all want to look in them or whatnot. Want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit, Brother Kasha Kwala. Until the next time, we will say Shalom.
Shalom.
Like always, repent, for Yahweh Shai is coming back sooner than what me and you believe.
That's right. Shalom.